NBK, nothing but Knicks. When send past the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
What happened here with Brunson?
Yeah, you don't like seeing that. Looks like it's no contact, just on his own. Little tweak, then a turnover. And like you said, when he got up, most concerningly, just had a little limp to him. So you see him talking.
What happened here with Brunson?
Yeah, you don't like seeing that. Looks like it's no contact, just on his own. Little tweak, then a turnover. And like you said, when he got up, most concerningly, just had a little limp to him. So you see him talking.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy, ladies and gentlemen. You see it. Jalen Brunson goes down with an ankle injury, ladies and gentlemen. And the Knicks go down to the Sacremento Kings. Wasn't a pretty game. It was an ugly game. You know, from my perspective, from what I've seen, doesn't look like Brunson is going to be out long. I don't think he's playing tomorrow night against Golden State. But he's out nonetheless. He didn't play this game, and, you know, he was sorely missed as the Knicks didn't have anyone who can really get things started, get things going. I mean, but, you know, that kind of started right from the beginning of the game. The Knicks couldn't get anything going. You know what I mean? You know, but yeah, bad one. I don't know. Y'all keep telling me it's going to be okay. It's all right. The Knicks are good. It's the dog days. Well, I mean, we're playing really bad. Really bad basketball right now. I got my brother Tony Crone in the building. Tony, it's good, brother. How you feeling?
Not great. That's for sure. Not great. They mailed this one in. I think they was looking at the Golden State game. Because, you know, I mean, I'll be honest, they had good looks. They missed open shots. It did feel like it was something in the air all night, like the whole game. Like the ball was slipping out of people's hands. People were slipping on the floor. You know what I mean? Then Brunson goes down. And, you know, it was too little too late. By then, we was already in the hole. You know, 17 points in the first quarter. And, yeah, it was an uphill battle the rest of the way.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, we couldn't hit anything. We couldn't hit anything. Defensively, you know what I'm saying? We were terrible. You know, it was just a bad game all around. But, you know, to come off of having a couple of days to practice, you expect a way better performance than this. You know, I keep hearing from people in the chat that, you know, we need rest. You know what I mean? We're tired. You know, we haven't had time to practice, which we haven't. You know, but then when you get that chance to rest a little bit and you get that chance to practice, you expect a better performance than this. And I could see from the beginning of the game, they were working on some things, right? You know, like they were running double screens the entire first quarter. You know, so they were definitely working on some things, but come on, man. I mean, you got to be able to perform better than this against a team that's got 10 wins. And I know they got Russell Westbrook and they got DeMar DeRozan and they got Zach LaVine. I get that. And those are good ball players, right? But 3 players does not make an entire team. And, you know, they're missing Domantas Sabonis. And they got 10 wins on the season. And, yeah, I know that. I think they beat Houston the other night or whatever. We're supposed to win. Even with Brunson down, we're supposed to win. we're supposed to beat this basketball team, and we have a terrible, terrible performance. We make the score a little more respectable at the end, 112-101, but that's because Mike Brown, finally realized, this was it, and threw in the white flag. You know what I mean? My question is this rock bottom, or does it get worse than this? Does it get worse before it gets better?
I mean, here's my thing. I tend not to ask that question.
Oh, we lost you. My man Tony froze up. Oh, there you go. Okay, there you go. You're back now.
No, I was saying, I try not to even think like that in any aspect of life or anything, because I know whenever I say that, it gets worse. You know what I mean? So I know it could always get worse. You know what I mean? But this is definitely the low point of the season.
No,
so
that's
far.
Without a doubt. It's definitely the low point of the season. It's a very low point of the season. It's midway through the season, but it's a very low point of the season. You know what I mean? Because we're just, well, I don't know. I don't even know what we're performing like. I don't know if we're, on the post-game show, they would say, it's lack of focus. And if it's lack of focus, that's a problem. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. Is it lack of focus? Do you think?
It's lack of urgency for sure, because they always got to get down. And I mean, not for nothing, we've been saying this about the Knicks in general, and this is a whole different team. You know what I mean? But it seems like at some point the Knicks team was past that, and this team is not. Like, they still got to get down and fight back. You know what I mean? It's a good thing because there's no quit. You know what I mean? There's no quitting these guys. And they're always going to try to fight back.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't have that killer instinct or that urgency from the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, send a message mentality, any of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they also preach that they are still learning, still growing, and everything else. You know what I mean? And you don't want them to be too cocky or too confident, but yeah, they don't got that killer instinct.
Mm. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. You know what I mean? I think we see it all the time that they don't have that killer instinct. They they don't have that, and we talked about it from the beginning of the season. They don't have that edge. They just don't have that edge. And it definitely hurts us against teams that play aggressive. And Sacramento they're not a team that's really aggressive. They just wanted the game. They were hitting shots. They were, anytime the Knicks made a run, they stopped the Knicks run, with a 3-point play, or, by hitting a couple of shots in a row.
Or getting to the foul line.
The Knicks had just no answers. And with Jalen Brunson down, these are the times when you expect that Cat is going to just take over the game. He ends up with 13 points. And he had Russell Westbrook guarding him. And I don't want to blame Karl-Anthony Towns, but with Jalen Brunson sidelined with an ankle injury, you got to give us more than 13 points and 4 rebounds. For the life of me, I do not understand this dude. I don't get it. I don't understand it. You have people who are not considered the second best player on the team, who are not all NBA, who have more heart, feel they have more responsibility to try and take the game over than Cat does. I just cannot call it with the dude, man. I don't understand. I can't call it. 13 points, 4 rebounds. In a game when, okay, you're the second best player, but your first best player is out. How do you not take over the game? When you got how tall is Russell Westbrook? 6'4"?
6'4", 6'5".
You can shoot over top of this guy easy. How does that not happen? I don't get it. I don't understand it. Precious Achiuwa outplayed Cat tonight. Simply because you wanted it more. I don't have answers. And
I love a game for him.
For Precious? Yeah. I love a game for Precious. You know what I'm saying? He was motivated coming into the game. You know, I guess, he said they were doing a lot of chirping and talking over text and all of that. Motivated him. I mean, you look at the box score tonight. Mikal Bridges leads the team in scoring with 19 points. He had the most shot attempts at 20, 6 for 20 from the field. Right? OG Anunoby, 15 points. He was 5 for 13. Karl-Anthony Towns, 13 points. He was 5 for 14. Josh Hart had 10, 4 for 7. Deuce was 4 for 14. He had 10. Jordan Clarkson was 5 for 11. He had 11 points. Not one person in double-digit rebounds tonight. No, I'm sorry. Mitchell Robinson had 11. My bad.
He did. He was one of, I might say, the lone bright spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At times.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And here goes another apologist. Another apologist on the scene. Josh, formerly known as Uncle Fulio, said in this half of season they have been blown out more times than during the entire 5 years of Tibbs. There's no excuse for a so-called championship team to get their ass bust as many times as they have. Thank you. Okay, he's not apologizing this time. He's not apologizing today. I like that. Thank you,
gotta
Josh.
apologize to.
I gotta apologize to you, Josh. I'm sorry. I apologize to you, bro. Because you did not apologize this time. You are, and he is 100% correct. 100% correct. There's no excuse for a championship, a so-called championship team to lose like this on, right now, it seems like on a regular occasion. We're just getting bust. Every time we step out there on the floor, there's no excuse for it. And I'll keep saying that. I don't want to, me personally, I don't want to hear about the rest stuff because that's the reason why we made a coaching change. One of the reasons we made it a coaching change, not the reason. The reason that he had been playing so many players, right? I don't know what to say. I don't know what's missing with the team. It's just so hard for me to see what's missing with this basketball. Well, I mean, we know some of the intangible things that's missing.
Yeah, because it seems like
we know that.
I think we thought we were one piece away, and I think it's really not one piece. You know what I mean? Because it's multiple things that we are missing, and you're not gonna get that in one guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, if it is, he's gonna be a superstar.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, and I know I'm probably going back on my word at some point, but it's been asked before on this show by the chat and other people. Did Thibodeau bring that intangible thing that this team is missing? Was he the one who brought that to the team? And so the players followed suit. Is he the one who brought that edge? Or is it that we moved on from guys who had, like Precious Achiuwa, he has a little edge and aggressiveness and things, right? We moved on from Precious. Is it that, or did Tom Thibodeau bring that thing that we feel like we're missing right now?
I mean, he brought a little bit more structure.
Well, we know that, yeah.
Which you know what I mean? That definitely helps a team.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing you always hear, everybody who played under Tibbs, even people who seemingly didn't like him, they say, "Oh, he's gonna have you prepared." Like,
right.
They don't even go into detail into specifically what that means, but everybody says that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there's definitely things that you would have liked for us to keep and take. You know what I mean? Like, didn't leave when he left. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's some things that are missing. But, I mean, the grit, that got to be in you. You know what I mean? I don't think somebody else could kind of, you know what I mean? that gotta be already in you.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I feel like the messages that a coach brings can relax that thing that's in you. Like sometimes a message can bring it out of you. If it's in you, it can bring it out of you. And then the message could also make it rest. You know what I mean? And I wonder if the approach of the organization, not even just Mike Brown, if the approach of the organization this year made some of that rest. You know what I mean? Because there is a lack of urgency. I think I heard the commentators saying tonight, like, okay, we got to do something. You got to start doing something. Full court press, something to show that you want to win the game, that you want to get back into it. But we didn't see that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm really hoping that we start to see a turnaround soon. You know what I mean? But we're coming off of a very bad loss, and now we're going to play the Golden State Warriors. I always say I hate playing back-to-backs after we took a loss like this. Right? Because you don't get a chance to fix anything. Now we're going straight to play Golden State. Boy. We could be in for a loss tomorrow night against Golden State and come home, not feeling really good about this team at all.
I'm not gonna chalk it up just yet. You know what I mean? I am mad at the amount of minutes, our main guys played. You know what I mean? Seemingly, I thought he should have waved the white flag earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Giving us a back-to-back, giving Mitchell Robinson is probably not playing, or giving Jalen Brunson is probably not playing. You know what I mean? I thought you kind of should have chalked this one up a little bit earlier, but that's the reason I'm worried about tomorrow. But other than that, I would have thought, maybe Cat has, maybe he has a bounce back game.
He's got to.
Like you know what I mean? He doesn't usually have like this bad of a, like would you say to me the other day, like, it's only up from here? You know what I mean? So it can't get
Right.
You know what I mean? So I would have thought he plays better than he did tonight.
Canberry, thank you for the super chat. He said, I watched Randall lock up Wemby, then bust Giannis the next night. I miss having dogs on the team. This might be our karma. Let's hope not. You know what I mean? But, we don't have them kind of dogs out there. It doesn't feel like.
Giannis,
Doesn't feel like.
It says, speaking of Giannis and Randall, did you see Giannis get booed at home?
Yeah, I saw that.
They booed the crowd.
I saw that.
I was like, oh, this is interesting. I want to see how this plays out.
I saw that.
Because, they asked him about it because he does it on the road when he gets booed.
Yeah.
And he was like, but you're at home. And he's like, it doesn't matter.
Don't matter.
If they doubt me, that's what I do.
Right. Yeah.
All I do is prove myself. I'm like,
the Knicks shot 19.5% from the 3-point line. One 3-pointer made in the first half.
1 for 19.
Shot 19.5%. They shot 39% from the field. They took 100 shots. They were 39 for 100.
Yeah, they outshot them too. I think they had like 18 more possessions at one point in the game. And I don't think that was even the fourth quarter yet.
Right.
Might have been halftime.
Uncle Fulio, again, thank you for the super chat. Or formerly known as Uncle Fulio. He said it's one thing to lose games. Losses happen during the regular season, but to be completely wiped off the floor, some of them at home, nah. And that's right. There's something that's missing with this team, Josh. It's hard to know, obviously, but there's something that's missing with this basketball team. I don't know if it's the, if it's the, is it a shock to the system? You're talking about a team that went from being very, very structured to now a team that's a little more free in substitution patterns and all of those things. And maybe it's a shock to the system, because it's a total change. And maybe it's going to take a little. I don't want to make excuses for him because it's not something that I truly believe. So I don't know. I don't know what's amiss. I don't know what's amiss. Donnell said only good thing about this game was John Harbaugh being announced as the head coach of the Giants. That's a very good thing. I like that. I'm very happy about that. Very happy
I didn't
about
think
that.
the Giants was going to get him either.
Me neither. I didn't think so either. But I'm very happy about that. Man is a proven winner. He's the exact thing the Giants need. The exact coach the Giants need. So I'm excited about that. Looking forward to this turnaround. You know what I mean?
And he don't come with a championship expectation off the rip.
Off the rip. You know what I'm saying? And I guarantee you there ain't going to be no, we're not chasing wins. Ain't going to be none of that. I got my guy Nick from Jersey on the line. Nick, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling?
What's going on, fellas? How you guys doing?
It's a rough night tonight.
It is, other than the Harbaugh news.
Other than that, that's great news, man. That's beautiful. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Regarding the Knicks, how are they going to fix this defense, guys?
I don't know. This defense it's terrible. I don't know.
It's very unusual because they got great defenders on this team. I know you got you got two weak defenders in the starting five with Cat and Brunson, but you got Bridges, you got OG, you got Mitchell Robinson, you got Deuce.
Mm-hmm.
You even got Diawara off the bench.
Right.
You got Shamet, who's a good defender.
Right.
You got Hart, who's a pretty tough defender. And I watched the game, and it's like I'm watching these teams just get layups on the Knicks all the time. Last year, it seemed like their 3-point defense was bad. This year, it just seems like teams are just beating the Knicks back door and getting layups, getting dunks, and it's like the Knicks can never get those 3 stops in a row. You know, that they used to do, where they would build momentum getting stops.
Right. You know, it's those little goals though that I'm not sure if the Knicks have. It's those little type of things that, you know, we would hear about all the time, right? Work on getting 3 stops in a row, right? Try to get 3 stops in a row. No more than, you know, 3 losses in a row. You know what I'm saying? Like those type of little things, just little day-to-day goals that would power the team forward. I don't know if we don't hear that anymore.
Are you baiting me into a Tibbs Brown conversation?
I'm not. I really don't want to, but I can't help but to compare some of the things that I heard from last year or seen from last year that I don't see, and things that I see from this year that I didn't see last year's. You know, and I really have tried to stay away from it, but it's hard, especially when we're losing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to make an assessment on Brown. I mean, I'm making assessments on him throughout the course of the season, and it's a lot of good as well.
A lot
it's
of
not
good.
Just, but there's some bad. There's some difference to it. That's you know, it's not all positive.
Right.
And we'll see how it turns out in the playoffs. You know, that's what I'll just say.
Yeah.
This brand of basketball right now, though, is not very conducive for playoff basketball.
Right.
Because you know when they get to, and we've seen it this year against the Pistons. We've seen it this year against the Magic. We've seen it even this year against the Hawks. I'm not saying that the Knicks would have a problem with the Hawks in the playoffs, or you know, if the Hawks even make the playoffs. But I'm saying that style of defensive intensity, it clamps the Knicks offense up. They're not able to get into that free-flowing offense.
Mm-hmm.
And I was worried, you know, it's a copycat league, I get it, but trying to be the Indiana Pacers, there's going to be a lot of growing pains for that in terms of playing offense that way.
Right.
And even last year, you know, the Pacers made the finals because they had about 2 or 3 miracle plays in every playoff series.
Oh my goodness! Tell me about it.
Alternate universe, they would have lost in the first or second round.
Right.
Even, and we wouldn't have been talking about how that's a model to be replicated.
Right.
You know, because it's not playoff style basketball. So, you know, we'll see what happens, but
yeah, we'll see what, you know. We'll see. But there's just something there. You know, I don't know if the team, you know, is missing some chemistry. You know, there's just something that is missing with like the edge that the team has.
Oh yeah, and you know, everybody's played great basketball at some point or another.
Yeah.
You know, during the season, Bridges was playing excellent, and then he fell off the face of the earth. OG Anunoby was playing excellent. He fell off the face of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody really on the team has been playing good at one point or another. Shamet had some great games. You know, so like Kolick obviously had a great couple of weeks. So this team, I look at them, I think they're like 11 deep when you include Kolick as the 10th man and Diawara as the 11th man. And then I would put like McCullough as like the 12th man. And Hukporti, you know, McCullough and Hukporti between 12 and 13, depending on who's injured. It's a pretty deep team. But the problem is they haven't had a consistent rotation. They haven't had a consistent group of 10 or 11 guys getting in there. I really like the way Brown did it, not tonight, but the game prior against Portland, where the first sub, you know, I'm not saying I would start Hart, but let's just say, you know, they're going to go with that starting 5, the traditional starting 5 with Josh Hart. The first sub was Deuce for Hart.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so now you got that 5 out going. You get the 5 out lineup right away. And then the second sub was Mitch and Diawara for Cat and Bridges. So now they had Mitch, Diawara, OG, Deuce, and Brunson, which is like 4 really good defenders, and Brunson. And, you know, had Diawara, you know, in between Mitch and OG, which is like a great way for him to develop as a defensive player, you know. And then he threw back Bridges Hart right away for OG and Diawara. And it's like, I like the way he handled the first quarter
Right.
of the Portland game, but we'll see how he. I mean, we're still not playing Kolek. We're not playing Shamet. We're not playing like we're a deep team, and Brown has not figured out a way to modify the minutes and the rotations where everybody's getting what they deserve, and where it all meshes together. And now here we are. We're almost halfway through the season.
Right. You know how much of it he just hasn't gotten a handle on. A rotation that he feels really comfortable with yet. That okay, here's my 10, you know, and he's still kind of figuring out who's in it.
Yeah, and we talked about this last time I called in. I think it's a structural thing because they want to start Hart now, but that makes the bench ultra small.
Right.
In terms of there's really no backup 4, and there's like 3 backup 2 guards, and one, it's like, how do you play Kolek, Deuce, Clarkson, and Shamet off the bench when you already have the guys you want to play the starters as well. I saw something the other day. It said Mikal Bridges' minutes. Everybody made a big deal. Last year he broke an NBA record for the amount of mileage he ran over the course of the season. He ran 10.9 marathons over the course of the full season plus playoffs. Well, right now he's on pace to run 10.2 marathons over the course of the full season. I mean, it's not like he's like even saving minutes. But Brunson's playing the same minutes, Yeah, everybody's pretty much playing the same amount of minutes. So Deuce, I think, is getting like 2 more minutes, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, guys are playing the same minutes. Maybe a few minutes, maybe. Definitely Cat's playing less.
Getting less. OG's getting a little less, and Hart's getting less.
Yeah, Cat's definitely playing less too.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. 2 minutes here and there. And the other thing, and I think we're underselling it just because the Knicks were so good that they could like survive without Cat being great. Mm-hmm. They could survive the regular season, but Cat has not been himself all season.
No. He's not been himself. He doesn't step up when we need him to step up. He fades. All of a sudden, he's gone in the game. It's like he's missing. He's not there. I mean, 6 points and 1 rebound in a game. Tonight when Brunson is out, he's supposed to be your best scorer. He gives you 13 points with 4 rebounds. He gave you 5 steals tonight, but we needed the points. I don't know what it is with him. I don't know what it is with Cat. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, not for nothing, son. And Nick, it's Nick, right?
Yeah, it's Nick.
Yeah, it's Nick.
Yeah. It ain't even all on Cat. Like Cat was disappointing, but so was OG, and OG's on like a real bad stretch. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, it's one thing for us to feel like, oh, he could step it up, he could be an all-star, but he's in a slump right now. You know what I mean? Like his threes aren't going. And Mike Brown, I feel like, doesn't even put him in any different positions. I know you got that Josh comment coming up, but it's like their main goal is to shoot a 3. Like I'm not mad at the attempts because they took good shots, open shots today, and they just missed them. You know what I mean? All night long. But at some point, you got to go and look at something else. And why isn't OG posting up? You talked about Cat had Westbrook on him all night. He should have been living in the paint. And they should have these designed and ready to be implemented when needed. You know what I mean? And it feels like they have one strategy, and that's to get open threes. Or, you know what I mean? In value. So it's tough.
100%. It's like the style of play is. It's not just that it's changed. It just seems like it's less serious. Like I said, like they're not.
Yeah.
How many times have we seen Mikal Bridges have a layup and he sprays it up? You know what I mean? It's like, what are we doing here, guys?
Right.
dunk the ball. Remember when you dunked the ball? Remember, McCall, when you dunked the ball in Boston in the playoffs? Do that.
Mm-hmm.
When you got to dunk the ball. You don't have to spray it out to Clarkson for a three. And you got to dunk. And it seems like they're just messing around out there sometimes on offense. But
sometimes it does. Like, a little helter-skelter sometimes. I think the first quarter tonight we seen, that there were a lot of double screens. So it looked like they were, trying to run some things, trying to work on some things that they probably practiced over the last couple of days. But then it all got abandoned once they were down.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. This is the longest stretch of rest that they've had in a while, and it's against a terrible team, and they got spanked.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? It's strange. Anyway, I'll stop complaining.
Yeah.
But I think they'll be okay. But this can't go on another 2 weeks.
No, it can't.
I'll put it like they can't lose another 5 out of 7. If this, what do they lose? 6 out of 8. If this 6 out of 8 becomes 12 out of 15, 12 out of 16, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, big problem. Big problem.
8 out of 10 is a problem.
Nick, I appreciate you, man.
Take care, guys.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace. Yeah. It's some problems, man. Uncle Fulio said, not pointing fingers at Cat. I'm pointing because I expect some things from him. Said not pointing the finger at Cat whatsoever. Everyone knew he was soft when we got him. The team philosophy is more problematic than anything, in my opinion. The offense seems worse when it shouldn't be. But I'm pointing some fingers at Cat because he's the second best player, and there comes a time when you've just got to step up. I believe, right, when you just got to step up and try to take control of the game. Freak 14 shots, take 24 shots tonight. You know what I mean? Be aggressive in that manner, and I feel like he allows lesser talented players to take over the game. Freddie Mickens said, y'all are panicking about another regular season loss in January. This means nothing. They are still a top team in the East. It doesn't matter if they're really a top team record-wise in the East and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? You want to win every game that you can, obviously. You know what I'm saying? That's what, that you want to win. You want to win. But if I'm losing 8 of the last 10 games, I don't care if we're one of the top teams. That means we're on a downward trajectory. You know what I'm saying? That means sooner or later we won't be one of the top teams. Yeah. That doesn't make sense to me. It's all about how we're playing. And we're not playing well. Okay, cool. We're still second in the Eastern Conference. Great. We don't look like a team that's second in the Eastern Conference, so we're not playing like a team that's second in the Eastern Conference. And if this continues, we'll get worse. And we won't be second in the Eastern Conference. Yeah. Ah, boy. What in the world? The Knicks, again, shot 39% from the field, 19.5% from the three-point line. Just not a good game for the Knicks. Out-rebounded 48-45, 23 assists only tonight for the Knicks. They only turned the ball over 9 times, but they just couldn't shoot at all. Josh said this ain't another regular season loss. They're getting blown out. Atlanta went into MSG and beat the Knicks by 30 without Trey or DeAndre Hunter. They are not competitive in some of these losses, and that's 100%. Right? 100%. Jeremy Nosbaum, The Knicks record is misleading. The Knicks are 13-13 against playoff-playing teams, 7-8 since winning the NBA Cup on 12-16, 1-15 when trailing after 3 quarters.
Is that misleading or is that accurate?
Well, he's saying the record that they have right now is misleading as far as.
In which way though? Like, you know
I
what
guess
mean?
he's
In a positive
saying.
or
I guess he's maybe saying as far as them being a good team, how good of a team they are. Yeah. Marcus Miller said, his heart says they're coasting, and we've seen them turn it up. His head says we need more grit in April. See, this whole coasting thing, I don't like that. You're playing with fire when you try to do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You don't, coast. What have you done to be able to coast? What have you done? Nothing. We haven't done anything.
That's right. You coast when you familiar.
Right.
With where you're going.
Exactly. When you're familiar with
maybe
where
they
you're
feel
going.
that way. Maybe they feel familiar. But
Yeah.
They what they say doesn't say that though. Because they constantly talk about we gotta improve on this, we gotta improve on that.
Right.
So
right. 82 games. Fred Wong said 82 games in the season to figure this out. No need to panic. Change. Don't usually get into their stride until after the All-Star break, going into the playoffs.
that was
I don't know
on
if
a
that's true.
different regime.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Different regime. You know what I mean?
Sure,
I
different
mean,
head coach,
when they first traded for OG, they was in their stride all throughout January. It looked like they was getting ready to run away with stuff until everybody got injured.
Josh Hart too. When we acquired Josh
Right, exactly. When we acquired Josh Hart. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. This is not good basketball. Have we ever had this? I ain't even gonna do the comparison. It don't even matter. This is where we are right now, and it's not looking good. And now Brunson is out. Let's talk about that. Then we can get up out of here. I don't think he's gonna be out long. I think he'll be out. He'll obviously be out tomorrow. If he is out for some extended time, what's that look like now? I mean, maybe it ends up being a good thing.
That's the way I was looking at it. Even if we struggle, because we're gonna have to figure something out.
Right.
We're gonna have to figure some things out, and that might be the only time to do it. You know what I mean? The messed up thing is I don't know if you want to say messed up or whatever. Like the one thing that has been consistent from this coach and the last coach is guys get their opportunity when other guys are out. You know what I mean? But he doesn't seem like they like you see how Kolek was in when Brunson was out before or we had some injuries, but then when guys start coming back, we ain't see him. You know what I mean? So now this is another opportunity for Kolek. But what is it really gonna mean in the long run if once we healthy, you know what I mean? Like, how strong is your faith in him?
Right.
And the other thing is that All-Star break. I mean that trade deadline coming up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And if Brunson's missing significant time, I think that also gives them more of it puts more pressure on them to figure some things out if they're going to make a move or not. But it also gives them some data on exactly where they're going to be missing things.
Yeah.
What they're missing.
Yeah.
So it could be a big trade if they really feeling under pressure. You know what I mean? And we start falling.
Yeah.
Or they could just figure some things out and tweak.
Yeah. D. Cooler said we had that same logic last season, talking about let's see after 10 games, 20 games, 30 games. Defense never got better. It's even worse this season. Yeah, the defense is bad this season. We've seen some moments offensively. It hasn't been consistent, but the defense has been consistently just bad. You know, there was a few games, but it's been bad. It's been bad. Yeah. Steph Curry said Landry Shamet shall save us. Landry Shamet shall save us. I hope so. Somebody got to do something. Somebody got to do something. But anyway, I'm gonna get up out of here because, you know, man, it's too late to be talking about this team when they losing like this.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Too late. Anyway, I'll definitely see y'all tomorrow. What'd you say?
Said bounce back tomorrow.
Yeah, we gotta try to bounce back. Warriors playing good basketball. It's gonna be a tough one, but you know we gotta figure out how to bounce back. Especially no Jalen Brunson. I'm assuming no Jalen Brunson. Yeah, we gotta figure this one out tomorrow, y'all. Anyway, we're up out of here. Be peaceful. One.
And BK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.